Authorized Caregiver. Power suit, red lipstick, Vivian's hand in mine. The hallway smelled like pencil shavings and disinfectant. My best friend's daughter squeezed my fingers as we walked toward the student support office. "It's going to be fine," I told her. Told myself. She'd called me during lunch, her voice small. "Can you come?" I got in trouble. "Don't tell Mom yet." I pushed open the door and stopped. Sebastian Thorne sat behind the desk. Same unruly dark hair, the reading glasses he never needed until the third cup of coffee. He glanced up, and I watched his expression shift. Surprise, recognition, something cooler settling into place. His nameplate sat between us like evidence Sebastian Thorne, student support counselor. I'd left him 7 years ago with specific instructions. Whoever contacts the other first loses. Sorry, wrong room. Vivian tugged my hand. "This is Mr. Thorne." The air thinned. Sebastian set down his pen. "You're Vivian Reeves' guardian?" Vivian jumped in before I could answer. "She's Laurel. She's on my school forms. She picks me up sometimes. Smart kid." Too smart. Sebastian's eyes moved to me, waiting. "I'm listed as authorized caregiver," I said carefully. "Her mother's at work." His mouth curved at one corner. No humor in it. Misquote. "Winters, I'll need you to sign some consent forms before we discuss Vivian's academic situation." "School policy." He pulled a folder from his desk drawer and slid 3 forms across to me. I scanned them. Authorization for academic discussion. FERPA, consent for non-custodial guardian. Off-campus meeting permission. "Standard procedure," he said. "I can't share student information without these on file." I took the pen he offered and signed. My hand was steady. I made sure of it. There. I pushed the forms back. "Now, can you tell me why she's here?" He filed them with precise movements. Vivian scored 68 on her last math assessment. That's 3rd from the bottom in her class. Vivian tucked her hands under her thighs. She's also had 3 incidents this week. He ticked them off. "Broke, mister." Patterson's coffee mug on Monday. Cut her deskmate's eraser into confetti yesterday. Overfed the classroom goldfish this morning. "I was helping," Vivian said quietly. "We'll talk about that," I told her. Then to Sebastian, "She's creative. She learns differently." "I can see that." His tone was neutral, professional. "Which is why I'd like to schedule a follow-up meeting to discuss support strategies. Does your schedule allow for Thursday at 5? We can meet here, or..." He paused. "The cafe across the street has a quieter atmosphere if you'd prefer." The cafe felt safer. Public. "The cafe," I said. "Perfect. I'll send a calendar invite to the email on file." He made a note. "And I'll need Miss Place, Reeves Vivian's mother, to sign this incident report when she's available." "I'll make sure she does." Something shifted in his expression. "You're very involved for a caregiver who's not the parent." "She's my goddaughter." The truth felt steadier than any lie. "I've known her since birth." "That explains it." He stood, signaling the meeting's end. "I'll see you Thursday, Miss Winters." Outside, Vivian looked up at me. "You know, Mr. Thorne?" "From a long time ago." "Did you used to date?" I nearly stopped walking. "What makes you ask that?" "The way he looked at you. Like he wanted to say something but couldn't." Kids see everything. That night, I texted Phoebe while staring at my closet, already dreading Thursday. "Me, your daughter got me into a meeting with my ex. This is somehow your fault." "Phoebe, what?" "Which ex?" "Me, the one." "Him. He's her counselor." "Phoebe, oh my God. Do you need me to go instead?" "Me too late." I signed consent forms. "I'm authorized to receive academic updates now. This is my life. Phoebe. I'll bring wine tomorrow." Thursday, 4:47 p.m. I arrived 13 minutes early, which gave me time to regret everything. Sebastian walked in at 457. Of course. He ordered coffee black, 2 sugars, the way I remembered, and sat across from me. Thanks for making time, he said. Of course. For 20 minutes, he walked me through Vivian's grades, her participation patterns, her strengths and struggles. He was thorough, kind even. It reminded me of late nights in college, Sebastian explaining calculus with infinite patience. She's bright, he said. But she needs structure. Consistent routines at home. Phoebe's working on that. And her father? Works remotely. Travels. The lie came easier than it should. He has her weekends. Sebastian was quiet for a moment. I'm not criticizing Phoebe's parenting. I'm trying to help Vivian succeed. But I need honest information about what resources she actually has. Before I could answer, his phone buzzed. He glanced at it, frowned. School emergency. Give me 2 minutes. He stepped outside. I watched him through the window, one hand gesturing as he talked. Even stressed, he carried himself with that same steady competence. My phone buzzed. Phoebe, how's it going? Me professionally. Very professionally. He wants to help Vivian. Phoebe, are you going to tell him you're not her mom? Me already did. He knows I'm just the authorized caregiver. We're fine. Phoebe, oh. Good. That's healthy communication. Me, I'm capable of growth. Sebastian returned, pocketing his phone. Sorry. Where were we? Is less than #0. 4# is greater than resources, I said. Right. He pulled out a business card and wrote on the back before sliding it across. School email and office number on the front. My cell on the back, for urgent matters about Vivian only. I took the card. His handwriting hadn't changed, neat print, all caps for emphasis. Same time next month? He asked. We'll check her progress. Sure. He gathered his things, then paused. It's good to see you, Laurel. Even like this. He left before I could respond. The email started small. From S. Thornell Incoln Elementary. .edu subject, Vivian positive update. Vivian scored 82 on yesterday's vocabulary quiz. Thought you and Phoebe would want to know. I forwarded it to Phoebe, who sent back 3 celebration emojis. From S. Thornell Incoln Elementary. EduU. Subject minor playground incident. Vivian and another student had a disagreement over the swings. Both children apologized. No further action needed, but wanted to keep you informed. From S. Thornell Incoln Elementary. EDU subject parent-teacher conferences. Phoebe mentioned she'd like you present at her conference next week. I've reserved a 30-minute slot. Let me know if that works. Each email was professional, warm, clearly from someone who cared about his students. Each email made my chest tight in ways I couldn't name. 3 weeks later, my consulting firm landed the Lincoln County Education Foundation contract. Major fundraising strategy for all local schools, including Lincoln Elementary. This is great, my boss said. You'll be working directly with school administrators. Great, I echoed, calculating the likelihood of running into Sebastian. Approximately 100. 2 days later, 3:45 p.m., I was leaving a foundation meeting when my phone rang. Unknown number. Miss Posts. Winters? Principal Alvarez at Lincoln Elementary. Vivian had a small accident on the playground, nothing serious. Scraped knee, but we need someone to pick her up. We couldn't reach Phoebe. I'll be there in 15 minutes. I made it in 12. Sebastian was in the main office with Vivian, who sat with an ice pack on her knee, looking more annoyed than hurt. God, Mom. She brightened when she saw me. I watched Sebastian's spine straighten. The secretary glanced up. Oh, good. Are you her mother or authorized caregiver? Sebastian said quietly. His eyes were on me. I have her consent forms on file. Right. The secretary handed me a clipboard. Just sign here. I signed and took Vivian's hand. Ready to go? Can I talk to you first? Sebastian's voice was careful, controlled. Just for a moment. My stomach dropped. Of course. I settled Vivian in the waiting area with a magazine and followed Sebastian into his office. He closed the door. Didn't sit. How long has Phoebe been unreachable? Is less than #0. 4# is greater than, he asked. She's in back-to-back meetings today. It happens. And how often are you the one who responds? I don't know. Often enough. Laurel. He leaned against his desk. I'm not trying to overstep. But Vivian talks about you constantly. You're the one she calls when she's worried. You're at every school event. And today, when she saw you, she lit up like he stopped. I just want to make sure she has stable support. She does. Phoebe's a great mom. I'm not questioning that. His voice softened. I'm asking if you need support. Being a godparent can be demanding, especially when you're as involved as you are. Something in my chest cracked. I'm fine, I managed. He studied me for a long moment, then nodded. Okay. But if that changes, I'm here. As Vivian's counselor, I mean. Right. Of course. That night, Phoebe came over with wine and apologies. I'm sorry, she said. My phone died during the investor pitch. I didn't see the school's call until an hour later. It's fine. I was close by anyway. Sebastian asked about it. I took a long sip of wine. He wanted to make sure Vivian has stable support. He's concerned. About Vivian or about you? Both, maybe. I don't know. I set down my glass. He keeps being so thoughtful. So present. It's making me remember things I'd rather not. Phoebe's expression softened. Like what? Like how he used to wait up when I had late classes. How he'd make me tea without asking, exactly the way I needed it. How he never made me feel stupid for struggling with math. I twisted my ring. He's still like that. Attentive. Patient. And I still don't know what to do with it. Maybe you don't have to do anything. Maybe it's okay to just let it be what it is. And what is it? From where I'm sitting, it's two people who cared about each other trying to navigate a complicated present. She topped off my wine. You don't have to have it figured out. 6 weeks into the foundation contract, Principal Alvarez pulled me aside after a budget meeting. Laurel, I wanted to give you a heads up. The foundation's approved our proposal for the after-school tutoring pilot. That's excellent news. Sebastian Thorne will be the lead coordinator on our end. I know you'll be interfacing with him regularly on implementation. My coffee suddenly tasted bitter. Great. That'll be efficient. She smiled. He's one of our best. Very detail-oriented. That I knew. The first planning meeting, Sebastian arrived with a 3-ring binder and a tablet. He'd always been organized. Miss Isby. Winters. He shook my hand across the conference table. Professional. Distant. Mr. Thorne. We spent 90 minutes reviewing program logistics, staffing ratios, curriculum alignment, parent communication strategies. He asked smart questions. I gave competent answers. We were two professionals doing professional things. It was excruciating. At one point, he pulled up a budget spreadsheet and I caught the scent of his soap, the same cedar and bergamot he'd worn in college. My concentration fractured. Does this allocation work from your end? He asked. I blinked at the numbers. Yes. That's reasonable. He made a note, his pen moving in that familiar quick script. After the meeting, he walked me to my car. This is going to work, he said. The pilot, I mean. It's a good program. You've put together a solid framework. We. He adjusted his messenger bag. We've put together a solid framework. You're the reason we have funding. Just doing my job. Laurel. He stopped walking. Can we acknowledge that this is strange? Working together after, he gestured vaguely. Everything? Relief made me brave. It's very strange. But I think we're handling it professionally. Agreed. He resumed walking. Doesn't make it less strange. No, I said quietly. It doesn't. 2 weeks later, I was reviewing donor reports when Sebastian called. Is less than #0. 4 hashes greater than. My phone screen showed his cell number, the one he'd written on the back of his card for emergencies. Hey, he said when I answered. Sorry to call outside work hours. This is about the pilot. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. The opposite, actually. I pitched the program model to the district superintendent. She wants to expand it to 3 more schools next quarter. He sounded energized in a way that pulled at old memories. But that means we need to accelerate the timeline. Can you meet tomorrow to revise the rollout plan? Tomorrow's Saturday. I know. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't. I can do 10 a.m. Same conference room? Perfect. Thanks, Laurel. I mean, Miss Winters. Laurel's fine. When it's just us. Silence. Then, okay. Laurel. Saturday, 1000 a.m., I arrived to find Sebastian already there. 2 coffees on the table. Black, 2 sugars, he said, sliding one toward me. If I remember correctly. I took it, my throat tight. You remember correctly. We worked for 3 hours, mapping expanded budgets and staffing plans. It was easier without the formal meeting structure we fell into, the old rhythm of collaborative problem solving, finishing each other's sentences, building on each other's ideas. At one point, I caught him watching me. What? I asked. Nothing. You get this look when you're thinking. Like you're 3 steps ahead, waiting for everyone else to catch up. I do not. You absolutely do. You did it in college, too. The mention of college hung between us. Sebastian set down his pen. Can I ask you something? About back then? My pulse kicked up. Okay. Why did you leave without talking to me? I'd known this was coming. Had been expecting it for weeks. Someone told me you'd taken money from a girl in your lab section, that you'd agreed to marry her family's funding for your study abroad program. The words came out flat, rehearsed from years of trying to make sense of them. I saw you with someone who looked like you, same jacket anyway, and I believed it. His face went pale. You thought I'd... He stopped, breathing hard. Who told you that? Charlotte Brennan. Jesus. He stood, paced to the window. Laurel, I was at a mathematics symposium that day. 43 miles from campus. I have the conference badge in a box somewhere. There's a photo on the department website. I know, I said quietly. I mean, I know now. I didn't then. He turned. What do you mean, you know now? After I ran into you at the school, I looked. I found the symposium website. Saw your name on the participant list. Saw the timestamp on photos. I twisted my hands together. It wasn't you I saw that day. Then who, understanding dawned on his face. My jacket. I gave it to my cousin Ryan that month. He was visiting, kept borrowing my things. Charlotte must have known, I said. Must have planned it. Had him wear your jacket, meet her when she knew I'd be there. But why? Sebastian's hands curled into fists. Why would she do that? I don't know. I've been trying to figure it out for weeks. He pulled out his phone, fingers flying. Then he held it out to me. It was a message thread between him and someone named Ryan. Recent. The last message, dated 2 weeks ago. You want to know the truth about that shit with Charlotte? Fine. She paid me $5,000 to help her break you 2 up. Said you'd be better off. I needed the money. I'm not proud of it. I read it twice. 3 times. He finally admitted it, Sebastian said. After I asked him directly. Told him I needed to know what happened. His voice roughened. She paid him, Laurel. Paid my own cousin to sabotage us. The coffee in my stomach turned to lead. I'm sorry, I whispered. I'm so sorry I didn't ask you. I should have trusted you. You were 22. Someone you had no reason to doubt told you something, then manufactured evidence. He sat down heavily. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt that you believed it, but I understand why you did. It doesn't make it right. No, he agreed. But neither does staying angry about it. We sat in silence, the truth settling between us like sediment. What do we do now? I asked. I don't know. He looked at me, his expression open in a way I hadn't seen in years. But I'd like to figure it out. If you're willing. We started small. Coffee after planning meetings. A Saturday morning hike that turned into lunch. Texts about work that drifted into other topics, books we were reading, shows we'd binged. Vivian's latest creative disaster, she'd reorganized Sebastian's desk by color. He'd been simultaneously exasperated and charmed. It felt like rewinding and fast-forwarding at once, glimpses of who we'd been, discoveries of who we'd become. 8 weeks into the pilot program, I was reviewing donor acknowledgement letters when my phone rang. Foundation Director. Laurel, we have a situation. Anonymous complaint came in this morning about the Lincoln pilot. My stomach dropped. What kind of complaint? Alleged conflict of interest. Someone claims you have a personal relationship with the program coordinator that influenced funding decisions. She paused. Is there any truth to that? Sebastian and I knew each other in college. We dated briefly, years ago. But it ended long before this project started. The complaint also mentions you're listed as a caregiver for one of his students. My goddaughter. I signed standard consent forms. This is all documented. I believe you. But we need to take this seriously. Board meetings in 2 days. You'll need to present the timeline of your professional relationship with Mr. Thorne and recuse yourself from direct oversight of the Lincoln pilot. I understand. We're not accusing you of anything. But appearances matter. Especially with public funding. After she hung up, I sat staring at my computer screen, numb. My phone buzzed. Sebastian, Principal Alvarez just called. You got the same message? Me, yes. Sebastian, this is my fault. I should have disclosed our history to the district when you started the project. Me, we both should have. We were trying to be professional. Sebastian, now we're jeopardizing the program. The one thing we both actually care about. I called him. He answered on the first ring. We need to meet, I said. Figure out how to contain this. My place or yours? Neutral ground. That calf. 20 minutes. He was already there when I arrived, looking like he'd aged a year in 2 hours. I talked to my union rep, he said. She's drafting a statement for the district. Timeline of our relationship, proof that all decisions were made by committee, budget documentation, everything above board. The foundation's doing the same. I wrapped my hands around my untouched coffee. But Sebastian, even if we clear this, the damage is done. People will always wonder. Then we make it right. His jaw was set. We show them the program works. We prove the decision was merit-based. We don't let whoever did this win. You think someone did this deliberately? Don't you? This complaint came in a week before our first public results presentation. Right when we're getting district attention. He leaned forward. Someone doesn't want this program to succeed. Or someone doesn't want us to succeed. His eyes met mine. Same thing, isn't it? 2 days later, board meeting, I stood before the foundation board with a 3-inch binder and a PowerPoint presentation that detailed every decision point in the Lincoln pilot funding. Timeline of project development, I began. August 15th, Principal Alvarez submitted initial proposal. I had no knowledge at that time that Sebastian Thorne worked at Lincoln Elementary. September 3rd, Funding Committee review, 5 members present. Unanimous approval based on needs assessment and program model. I walked them through 16 slides. Every email. Every meeting. Every budget line. Mr. Thorne and I have a professional relationship defined by this project. We also have a personal history that predates it by 7 years. I should have disclosed that history earlier. I take full responsibility for that oversight. I met each board member's eyes. But I stand by every decision made regarding this program. The data speaks for itself. I pulled up the final slide preliminary results from the first 8 weeks. Reading scores up 12. Math proficiency up 15. Parent satisfaction at 94. The board chair leaned back. Miss Winters, I appreciate your transparency. The committee will deliberate and inform you of our decision by Friday. That evening, Sebastian texted. Sebastian, how did it go? Me, honestly? I don't know. They're deliberating. Sebastian, whatever happens, you did everything right. The program works because of you. Me, us. Because of us. Sebastian, can I see you? Not about work. Just? Can I see you? Me, yes. He picked me up an hour later. Drove us to the park where we'd had our first official date 13 years ago. Remember this place? He asked as we walked toward the duck pond. Of course. You bought me terrible frozen yogurt and we fed the ducks. I was trying to be romantic. I was 19. It seemed profound. It was perfect. We sat on a bench overlooking the water. October sun slanted through the trees, painting everything amber. I'm scared, I admitted. That this complaint will tank the program. That we'll lose everything we've built. Then we build it somewhere else. Another district. Another school. The work matters more than the location. You'd leave Lincoln? If I had to. He took my hand. Laurel, 7 years ago we lost each other because we didn't fight. We believed the worst and walked away. I'm not doing that again. Whatever happens with the board, with the district, with any of it, I'm choosing you. If you'll let me. My throat closed. I'm terrified, I whispered. Me too. What if we mess it up again? Then we mess it up honestly. We talk about the hard things. We don't run. His thumb traced circles on my palm. I love you. I've loved you since I was 19 years old. I tried to stop, tried to move on, but seeing you again, he shook his head. I'm done pretending I can live without you. The world narrowed to his hand in mine, his eyes steady on my face. I love you too, I said. I never stopped. I just got really good at hiding from it. He kissed me there on the bench, soft and careful and sure. When we broke apart, he pressed his forehead to mine. Whatever comes next, he murmured, we face it together. Together, I agreed. Friday, the board's decision the foundation director called at 9 a.m. The board voted to continue the pilot with one condition. You recuse yourself from direct Lincoln oversight. We're assigning a co-lead to handle that relationship. You'll focus on the 3 new schools. Relief made me dizzy. I understand. Thank you. Off the record, Laurel? The data was too strong to ignore. You did good work. Just be more careful about disclosures going forward. I will. Friday evening, Lincoln Elementary Vivian's fall music concert. I sat with Phoebe in the crowded gymnasium, scanning the program. Sebastian stood along the side wall with the other staff members. When our eyes met, he smiled. After the concert, Vivian dragged us both over to see her art project in the hallway display. This is my family tree, she announced, pointing to a poster covered in photos and drawings. That's Mom. That's Dad. That's my grandma. She pointed to a photo of me. And that's Godmom. She's like extra mom. I'm honored, I said. And this Vivian pointed to a photo she'd clearly printed from the school website. Sebastian in his office, smiling at the camera. This is Mr. Thorne. He helped me with my math so much that I got a B on my last test. That's fantastic, Phoebe said. Vivian looked between Sebastian and me with calculated innocence. Do you think adults can be friends even if they used to date? Sebastian made a choking sound. Who told you we dated? I asked. Nobody. I have eyes. She rolled them with 8-year-old superiority. You look at each other like people do in movies. Phoebe was actively trying not to laugh. Yes, Sebastian said solemnly. Adults can be friends after dating. They can even be more than friends again, if they want to be. Do you want to be? Vivian asked. Vivian, Phoebe warned. What? I'm just asking. Sebastian looked at me. I looked at him. Yes, I said. We do. Vivian pumped her fist. Called it. Mom, you owe me ice cream. You bet on us? I asked Phoebe. She bet on you. I bet against because I'm a pessimist. Apparently 8-year-olds know more about romance than I do. 6 months later, the tutoring program expanded to 5 schools. The anonymous complaint was never traced, but the program results spoke louder than gossip. Sebastian and I stopped hiding. We went to dinner in public. We held hands at school events. Principal Alvarez gave us a knowing smile and said nothing. Vivian appointed herself official relationship consultant. You need to go on more dates, she informed us. My mom says you're boring homebodies. Your mom needs to mind her business, I told her. She also says she's never seen you this happy. That stopped me. Yeah? I asked. Yeah. Vivian hugged my waist. I like you happy. 1 year after getting back together, Sebastian took me back to Building 3 of our old apartment complex. The playground had new equipment, but the bench where we'd shared our first kiss was the same. He pulled a small box from his pocket and dropped to one knee. Laurel Winters, I loved you when I was 19 and didn't know what love meant. I loved you when we were apart and I pretended I'd moved on. I love you now, knowing exactly what I'm promising. He opened the box. Simple band, single diamond, exactly my style. Will you marry me? I pulled him to his feet and kissed him, laughing through tears. Yes. Obviously, yes. He slid the ring on my finger. We're doing this right this time. We are, I agreed. No lies, no running, no pretending we're fine when we're not. Just us. Honest and messy and real. I can work with that. Epilogue. 18 months later, the wedding was small, immediate family, close friends, held in the botanical gardens on a clear October afternoon. Vivian took her role as flower girl very seriously, scattering petals with surgical precision. Phoebe stood beside me as maid of honor, dabbing her eyes through the ceremony. When it was time for vows, Sebastian took my hands. I promised to trust you with the hard things. To ask questions instead of assuming. To fight for us, especially when it's difficult. To remind you that you're enough, more than enough. You're everything. I had to breathe through the tightness in my chest before I could respond. I promised to trust myself enough to believe you. To stay instead of running. To tell you when I'm scared. To choose you every single day. The officiant barely got through "you may kiss" before Sebastian pulled me close. Later, at the reception, Vivian found us. So now that you're married, does this mean you'll have kids? Vivian, Phoebe said. What? I'm asking for a friend. The friend is me. I want cousins. Sebastian laughed. We'll take it under advisement. That's adult speak for maybe, Vivian informed us. I know these things. That night, leaving under a shower of biodegradable confetti, Sebastian pulled me close. Ready to start forever? I looked at him, this man I'd loved since 19, lost at 22, found again at 30. I've been ready since that day in the library when you explained derivatives until they made sense, I said. I just forgot for a while. He kissed my temple. Good thing we remembered. The end.